Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Sharifuddin bin Abdul Rahim. As a leader, I would like to present about the executive summary, objective, the organization and what is EPO626. The Effective Management of Electricity Energy Control 2008 was endorsed by Government of Malaysia under the Electrical Supply Act 1990. In this regulation, any installation that receives electrical energy from a licensed or supply authority with a total consumption of electrical energy equal to or exceeding 3 million kWh as calculated for the allocation or classification of a registered electrical energy management system is relevant to the Malaysia Energy Commission, which is Suruhanjaya Tenaga. In view of the above development, I would please to inform the management that we have complied with the regulation as a newly appointed electrical energy manager. I also design method and technique for the company to build the Sustainable Energy Management System (SEMS). So the goal of this proposal document is therefore to obtain the endorsement of the top management of Arizta Industri Sendirian Berhad, electrical energy reduction and maximizing of their output. So the objective of this proposal are to get endorsement from the top management to apply 3-star energy management goal standard (EMGS), certification from Asian Energy Management Scheme (AEMAS), to get approval to appoint Green Tech Malaysia for compliance audit, and the third one is to get approval for budgetary proposals. So the organization is Arizta is a leading global food company, and we specialize in providing an extensive variety of baked goods and breads that are sweet and savory. The business is multinational suppliers to food service companies, leading distributors and QSR sectors. A selection of bread, roll and bun, patisserie, savory snacks, sweet pastry and culinary aids compose their impressive range frozen bakery items. So the benefit for getting 3-star energy management gold standard, we believe the company will be benefit for endorsed by the European Union and 10 Asian Ministries of Energy, improve the corporate image, and it will give an opportunity to demonstrate our company commitment to sustainable energy development and validate our company effort. So we talk about Asian Energy Management System, which is AEMAS. The Asian Energy Management Scheme is a regional Asian initiative developed and supported by the highest energy authorities and agency of ASEAN, including 10 Asian ministers of energy. AEMAS was founded by the European Commission and led by the Asian Centre for Energy in 8 member states, namely Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand and Vietnam. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sanzatul Atila Minti Mahadi. I am the secretary and also energy manager for this project. In the problem statement of the proposal, electrical energy efficiency is understood as a reduction in power and energy demands from the electrical system without affecting the normal activities carried out in the building, industrial plants, or any other transformation process. So what we would like to highlight here is the focus of the lack of sensitivity of the competitive industry to save the environment should be looked at as important things as well in order to help the government to achieve 40% of the carbon emission in 2020. So beside that, this has also helped to reduce the cost of production and can generate more revenues. to the industry if the industry applies and implement energy efficiency system. To make this target to be achieved, a few efficient electric consumption systems need to be applied, which following the requirement from Efficient Management of Electrical Energy Regulation 2008, which is EMIR 2008 under the Electricity Supply Act 1990. Thus, Efficient Management of Electrical Energy Standard Regulation is a regulation to regulate the electrical energy used by the consumers and generators with certain requirements to fulfill for a better energy management. The regulation is enforced by the Energy Commission Sector 2016. Regulation 11 of EMIR 2008 states that it requires that each affected building owner to appoint a REIM to comply to the requirements of the regulation. Next, I would like to show you about the electrical energy consumption by the company, which we can see at the electrical power patterns at the line chart. It shows the electrical consumption of the company from January 2020 to December 2020, and it recorded the lowest consumption of electrical in February at 2,856,450 kilowatt per hour, and the highest record of electricity consumption is at March, which is 4,167,506 kilowatt per hour. So next we have the electricity distribution breakdown. As we can see, the refrigeration or the chiller is recorded at the highest energy consumption of electricity at 39.87%, and next followed by the oven and stove, which is at 26.32%. Next, for audit and evaluation, which is audit and evaluation, we have energy matrix and consists of energy policy, organization, motivation, information system, marketing, and also investment. So our current status of our company at line blue, which is we are still not achieved 3-star gold standard for energy management. Our target is at the red line, so we are still working on it. So this proposal, one of the effort to achieve the red line, also achieving 3-star gold standards of energy management system. So that's all from me. Let's move to the next presenter.
Next is methodology of sustainable energy management system in the company as proposed action plan. First, I'm going to talk about development of energy management system, which is EEEM policy. The commitment in efficiency management of electrical energy to improve energy efficiency usage continually. Next is the commitment to address and act toward process and activities that will give impact on the performance of electrical energy usage at the installation and all parts. They also consider energy efficiency in all aspects of planning and operation consistent with sound business practice. They also fuse EEEM policy, which is participant in utility provided training and incentive program aimed at energy efficiency and conservation. Next is Certificate Energy Manager. Certificate Energy Manager is an individual who optimizes the energy performance of a facility, building, and or industry plant. CEM are often team leader and help to develop and implement the organization energy management and strategy. CEM has gained increased recognition with energy industry by companies by looking to strengthen their competitive position by having a CEM on staff. This is EEM committee. The chairperson is Muhammad Sharifuddin bin Abdul Rahman. There are two secretary, which is Nazatul Atilia bin Mahdi and Muhammad Dini bin Khairul. Under utility maintenance engineer is Muhammad Ishaq bin Abdul Razak. Human resource manager is Nurul Fadilah bin Qasim, and accounting and purchasing manager is Siti Aisyah binti Muhammad Jamal. Next, after that is Energy Accounting Center. Energy Accounting Center, you can look in the picture, which is machine EA1 is oven and stove. Plan recorded data show that working hours 7 to 8 hours daily and power consumption. Another one is EA2 chiller, which is operated daily and high electrical power consumption.
I am Nurul Fadila as Human Resource Manager. I will present about the information system, energy management working procedure, the training and awareness session, and also the documentation. So in order to acquire a proper SEMS, the information system on how energy performance is monitored and reported has to identify. Firstly, the information system can be set up by sharing the data and knowledge among the energy management committee members. The key indicator for energy performance is the monthly energy consumption for the company and each EAC, as well as the monthly maximum demand charged by the TMB. From the energy consumption data obtained from the TMB bills, the EEI could be calculated so that the energy performance can be evaluated and compared. The information system must not only rely on the meter reading but also the physical system at the installation site. The person in charge for each EAC will also report to the operation manager if there is any issue related to the energy consumption meters. We'll also use the poster, memo, and send an email to the staff, which is 3 to 4 times a year, to inform them about the energy saving. Next, we move to the EMWP. The figure above shows the how energy management working, which firstly, the executive board or management team assign one of the middle to senior level to be the energy manager. Then the executive board advise the energy manager has to officially set up by the EM committee. After that, energy manager has to organize the evaluation process using the energy management matrix. EM committee has to set up the action plan to bring EM component, which is result from the EM matrix, to the satisfactory level. Next, EM committee need to set the energy conservation target and plan for an organization for 1 to 3 years. EM committee has to allocate the responsibility to each EAC to identify the measures in their territories and for the target allocation for an EAC. Therefore, EAC has to identify measures to meet the assigned target. EACWP will help to identify energy saving measures and control the energy consumption. EM committee need to conduct the presentation to the executive board to get the approval on the measure or implementation budget. Lastly, the EM committee need to monitor and assess the implementation result. There are 2 levels of monitoring and assessment, which are organization level, at least once a year, and the EAC level, which is every 3 months or once a month. Now, the training is a process that tries to improve skills or add to the existing level of knowledge so that the employee is better equipped to do his present job or to mold him to be fit for the higher job involving higher responsibilities. For the training and awareness session, we have successfully conducted 6 training for various levels of staff. The training course consists of the mixture of management and technical field. The total participants are 500 employees who attended the training from January 2019 to December 2019. So here are the table of the training being conducted and also the sample of the certificate of training. Lastly, here are the list of documentation needed for implementation of the energy management system, and it categorized into 3 types, which are Type A, Working Procedure, Type B, working manual and tools, and Type C, monitoring documents. The main objective for the documentation are first, to provide clear working guidelines for all levels of staff to implement energy management systems. Second, to provide recommended working formats to energy efficiency staff for use in their daily work. And the third one is to provide the official working evidence required by standard quality systems. The figure shows the sample of EACWP, the log sheets for EAC, and the equipment checklist for monitoring. The EACWP under the Type A documentation used in order to implement the energy management system, where it shows the flow of study based on EAC existing data. The log sheet used for working manuals and tools from the Type B documentation, where it functioned as the standard form for the operator to fill in the all actual parameters. Is the assessment checklist under the Type C is for monitoring the EAC for equipment. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and greeting. I'm Siti Aisyah and hold the position of the Accounting and Purchasing Manager. So, I am responsible for the securing funding, cost of the project, and financial plan in order to implement the SEMS project. First, let's start on how the funding on development of SEMS secure. The funding are divided into two types, which are the internal funding and external funding. Internal funding are the company funding from the saving, asset liquidation, and revenue. While the external funding, we propose the funding from the Energy Service Company or ESCO. Here in ESCO, we provide resources and expertise that we implement the necessary measure from the formulating until monitoring the process done. Continue on, we have contrasted the cost of the energy saving measure, as we fully aware the importance of management for the EAC. Therefore, here the cost or investment needed to purchase the infrared oven and chiller. Rm43,000 are need to buy the 10 units of the infrared oven. Includes the extra cost, which is the installation cost, while the chiller costs almost 1,550,000 for 5 units, as the price per units are quite costly, which is Rm10,000. As a result, 1,593,000 is the total cost needed to purchase both of the equipment. For the financial plan, we focus on formulating energy saving, return, and payback period from the investment made. Now, let's look at the difference on the operation watt of the infrared oven compared to electric oven used by the company. By minus the value operation watt of the electric oven and infrared oven, there are 600 watts saved per hour. It shows more than half can be saved. For the annual consumption of the infrared oven, are valued so much lower compared to electric oven, that only resulted to more than 400,000 of kilowatt. This resulted to huge energy are being saved. We'll be able to save more than 5 million kilowatt and also more than 2 million ringgit Malaysia saved per year. Moreover, it took shorter time for the payback period, which is only 2 weeks, to recover the cost of investment from the project. For the replacement of the chiller, we propose to purchase 3.5 HP of the chiller for the high efficiency for the machine to operate. Compared to oven energy saving measure, even though the operation watt of the chiller increases from 1,492 watt to 2,611 watt, by practice the best routine management and monitoring, the electricity consumption can be reduced, assuming at least 20% energy reduction by minimize the routine operation. Per machine can save 522.2 watts per hour. As a result, more than 80 million kilowatt or even more than 9 million ringgit Malaysia are being saved in a year. Even the payback period only took 2 months to earn back the cost from the investment. Alright, that's all from me for the securing funding, cost measure for the project and the financial plan. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Muhammad Ishak bin Abdul Razak as an operational manager. Now, I want to talk about expected result, measurement and verification method, which is MMV method, and a project concept master planning. So, we go through the first slide, which is about expected result. So, what is expected result? Through the effort to implement energy saving measure, we estimate the energy consumption based on the baseline year, which is 2019. Cumulative sum, also known as CUSUM, is a technique used to expect result on the actual energy consumption in order to monitor energy performance as well as quantify energy saved or wasted. So, we go through to the next slide. Alright, this is a expected energy consumption of oven and stove. So, the expected energy consumption is calculated based on the equation above shown, which is what is the energy which is kWh equal to 5.550 multiplied by production, which is unit, plus 759,370. The difference is calculated between actual and expected energy consumption. Then the CUSUM calculate by computing the cumulative sum. Alright, in the chart above can be seen the CUSUM graph falls in the first 2 months and then oscillate around the 20 line for several months. It starts to drop on month 10. The graph show it took 10 months for the reduction of energy consumption after the energy saving measure was implemented. Alright, so I want to talk about the expected energy consumption for the chiller. The expected energy consumption is calculated based on the equation above showing energy, which is kWh equal to 8.47 multiplied by production, which is unit, plus 115,493.74. Meanwhile, the difference show the actual and expected energy consumption. CUSUM calculate by computing the cumulative sum based on the difference between actual and expected. So, the CUSUM chart above illustrates the line graph that fall in the first 2 months and then oscillate around the 0 line for several months. It starts to drop on month 10. It shows the energy saving will start to be effective on month 10 after implementation of energy saving measure as the CUSUM value falls, thus showing the reduction on electricity consumption. We go to the next part, which is measurement and verification method. So, it is also known as a MNV. Measurement and verification, which is MNV, is the process of using measurement to reliably determine actual saving created within an individual facility by an energy management program. The International Performance Measurement and Verification Protocol, which is IPMVP, describes 4 broad MMV categories, which are option A, B, C and D. So, my company has choose option A for chiller and oven. So, as for the chiller and oven, at Arista Solution Sdn Bhd, we plan to opt for a retrofit isolation method and choose option A, which is known as partially measured retrofit isolation. The retrofit isolation method requires the full measurement equipment to isolate the energy used, the equipment affected by the ECM for the energy used of the rest of the facility. The reason why we plan to opt for option A instead of option B is because option A is more flexible for the machine to be measured, as we do not have the fixed measurement for each facility. The estimation that we use include all unexpected conditions that might be happen is also calculated. In our plan, the observation will start in January 2021 until December 2021 and more years forward. We are using measurement equipment to record our accurate meter. So we go to the next slide, which is Project Gantt chart milestone planning. Above is the Project Gantt chart and milestone planning for energy management gold standard certification in progress to strive for 3-star standards. Basically, the progress for 3-star standard involve the journey of 3 years. Started after the achievement of 2-star standard, any company organization might achieve the 1-star standard certification first. As for Arista Solution Sdn Bhd, we expected the achievement for 3-star standard can be achieved by the end of 2023, which is 3 years from now. In order to have that, as an energy management committee, we need to improve our overall energy efficiency index, which is EEI, by a certain percentage. In other words, we need to make sure the usage of Arista Berhad electricity is decreased so our organization can afford to save some cost spent on the electric bills. So, the conclusion that I conclude is this proposal is rough based on a roadmap to develop sustainable energy management system, which is SEMS, compliance to efficient management of electrical energy regulation, which is EMEER 2008, for operating and maintaining the installation of facility. It is hoped the proposal will be considered to obtain endorsement from top management to implement SEMS compliant to EMEER 2008 at Arista Solution Berhad. Moreover, in order to achieve the Energy Star rating, it is important to develop an energy policy and an energy committee to satisfy AMAS requirement. Due to the complexities of the committee of the current Arista Berhad electrical grid, the energy efficiency enhancement process needs to be carried out in many steps. Specific project teams will be collaborate on projects that conform to the guidance of the EMGS. However, Arista Berhad help from top management in terms of financial and participation in the administrative process is the most significant consideration for achieving the Energy Star ranking over enhancing energy management. In addition, sustainability measures are also extremely necessary to ensure that the energy efficient performance of the company is preserved and maintained. So, that's all from me about 3 part of the organization. Thank you.